Welcome to Straight Talk with Shilly. I am so glad that you're here today again to meet me. And I'm so excited, and I want to let you know that this waiting thing is still on my mind. I have not let go of it because I realize we're still in a waiting season. But I want to talk about, while you wait, identify your excuses. Yes, it's so important that we identify our excuses. And you may be wondering, or you may already know, what exactly are my excuses? I'm so glad you asked. Your excuse is anything that is stopping you from taking action. It is so important that we take action. The only way to get anything done, you can't just think about it. You've got to move in the direction of what it is you want to accomplish. You may say, I have no time, I'm not enough, I don't know how, I don't know what to do. First, I want you to stop and identify what exactly is behind your excuses. Where did your excuse come from? Is it coming from you, or is it coming from that voice? Remember the other day we talked about talking back to the negative chatter that's in your head. Is it something somebody said to you that is causing you to get a hold of excuse and not let go? It is time to set fire to your excuse. This is why I am inviting you to join the Igniters group, because in there we are putting a blaze. We are setting fire to excuses because I no longer want to hear you say, I have no time. If you know somebody that is procrastinating and that is struggling with excuses, I need you to put me on pause right now, because we need folks to take action. We no longer will accept any excuses. I want to pause right now and just tell you a few of my excuses that I've had over the years and that I had to battle through, that I had to push through, and I'm calling you to do the same thing. Some of them you may identify with. Some of them may be your excuse, and some of them may not. But I'm going to give you just 3 excuses that I have, or had, I should say. I no longer have them because I pushed past the area where I was just lingering and meandering and wondering, I don't have time, I don't know how. First, my first excuse, my accent. I struggled with the fact that I had a problem with speaking perfect English. And I know I'm a girl from Jamaica, and you know, if you've listened to any Jamaican, we have our own language. It's patois. And we are not necessarily saying everything in full sentences. And I struggled with that because many times in my past, I would share stuff and people would wonder, what exactly is she saying? And I got self-conscious about that. I also said I wasn't a writer. I said I wasn't a writer because in high school and even in college, my English teachers, they told me, Shilly, you write just like you talk. And yes, sometimes I was very embarrassed by that. But I knew that I had to push past that. And the other part of my excuse, which was a big one for me that kept me bound for a long time, and I've mentioned these stories in my book, is my shame, the shame of my past, the things that I couldn't get my mind around to think that anybody would understand about the poor choices that I made, the choices of having abortion, the choices of leaving my marriage, the choices of having to file bankruptcy, all these things. These were like shame around me. They held on to my ankles like a ball and chain. But I had to put an end to my excuses and to the excuse of having an accent and not being able to speak properly or perfectly. I went to Toastmasters. I went to Toastmasters because in that space, I had a coach, someone to help me present my topic well, someone to critique me and give me feedback. I had people to clap for me even when I made a mistake. I had people that was cheering for me, telling me, Sheila, keep going. You did well. Or you didn't do so well here, but next time, here's what you do. And I was excited to be in that environment. What is your excuse today? Can you find someone to connect with that will help you? And as far as my past, because that held me bound for so long, the thing I started doing, I started meeting with people that were of like minds, people that were dealing with things in their past, people that wanted to address the issues of their shame. And this was a trusted space. These were people that earned a right to hear my story. Not only was I sharing my story, but they were sharing their stories too. And the thing about it is that space was sacred. We honored that space because they would shake their head as I was telling my story and say, you know what? I understand. I have a similar path. I went through something similar. You need to find a group that you can be vulnerable. And the other thing that I learned being in that trusted space, these are the people that earned the right to hear my story because they were there to encourage me. They were listening with compassion. They were there to show me mercy and grace and love and understanding and to remind me that my mistakes is not who I am, it's what I did. And suddenly, the shackles started breaking and I started feeling free enough to talk. And now I'm here in front of you and I can't believe it because I used to be shy. I used to be the girl that didn't want to say anything. I was so self-conscious about my accent. I was so self-conscious that I can't write because I've been told that I couldn't write well. And I know that I do write like I talk. But now I know there are other people like editors and so forth that can read what I write and fix it for me. So I no longer stress about that. I can pay for that. And I could go to places to get my speech critiqued and get feedback and go back to the drawing board and fix it. And that's what I'm calling you to join us in the tribe of igniters. In that space, you will have me and other like-minded people. That's going to help you to get over those excuses. That's going to share how they got through their excuses so that you can stop making excuses and start taking actions. It is so important. We have to start with baby steps. I had to start with baby steps. What can you do? You can join Toastmasters if you need to have that space where you need to address your speaking and presentation skills. You can join the Igniter group where we will clap for you, where we will help identify those things that are holding you back and give you steps. To give you steps to get ahead. Give you steps to say no more. Time is no longer an issue. I need to prioritize. I need to say yes to what's calling me. I need to take action. No more excuses. So I thank you so much for meeting me here. And I want you to know that I believe in you. There are treasures down on the inside of you. Not excuses, treasures. So it's important that you stop making excuses. So while you wait, identify what's holding you back. Identify those excuses. I shared mine. I want you to share some of your excuses in the chat and reach out to me either by email or DM me, whichever way, reach out to me because I am here as your coach to help you break the chain, to help you break the chain of excuses because you are here to deliver that which you were born to do. You cannot procrastinate anymore. You've got to move forward. You've got to light your excuses on fire. I can't wait to hear from you. I'm so excited that you joined today, and I want to know how I can help you break those excuses. You no longer can say, I don't know somebody. You know me. I am here to hold the space for you and to help you get to that destination where you're looking down the road and say, this is why I was born. I now know my why. I now identify my excuse and I'm on the right track. That's what the Igniters group is here to provide you. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that I'm here with you on this journey. Thank you so much for meeting me here. Have a great evening and may God bless you. Bye-bye.